So, and this is where
This is where
you
it
plug
charges.
it in.
On a regular Mini, this would be where you would oh my.
We're going to do that too after.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Katie Fehrenbacher with the GigOhm TV's Green Overdrive show, and we're here at the LA Auto Show, and I'm here with Dave Buchko, who is in charge of the powertrain electronics communication, and we're in front of BMW's electric Mini. I'm really excited to test drive this in just a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit about BMW's electric Mini program? I know it's kind of like a prototype, right?
Well, the Mini E is a prototype. We put 450 of them on the road in the United States, actually back beginning in 2009.
Okay.
So folks were given the vehicles, or leased the vehicles, to drive for a year to get a sense of what life with an electric vehicle is like. And so it was a learning process for them, but we also then conducted very in-depth research based on their experiences to understand more about what it's like to live with an electric vehicle, because let's face it, for a lot of people that's a very open question.
Right.
You know, what's it like? Can you use it on a day-to-day basis? What compromises do you have to make? That kind of thing.
And so, I know at the show this week you announced some interesting statistics and data from your program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We looked at things from a variety of point of view. The Mini E has a range of about 100 miles on a charge. And so one of the questions was, what's it like to live with a car that can only go 100 miles on a charge? Is that going to be a problem? How does that affect your daily driving habits? And we found that most people were driving, vast majority in the study, were driving less than 50 miles a day.
Okay.
They very quickly came to understand, by and large, for all of them really, that they got comfortable with the idea that I leave my house in the morning, I go and do my daily driving routines, to and from work, whatever I need to do, and I can still get back home without worrying about running out of a charge.
Well, my big question for you guys is, now that you have some of this data coming back,
Yes.
and you've been doing a year and a half, are you going to be putting these into kind of wide-scale commercial production?
What we're doing is, the BMW Group we're embarked on a 3-phase program to lead to a full-scale production electric vehicle. This was phase 1. We wanted to learn. We wanted to understand what we didn't know.
So phase 1 is convert a current car,
right,
and then test it.
Well, convert a current car using somebody else's drivetrain to very quickly get a car on the road to allow us to learn some things. Now, not all of the lessons that we learned through the Mini E were necessarily very positive about the experience. For example, we learned that extreme temperature conditions, very cold conditions like in the Northeast, where people were driving them in New York and New Jersey, or here in Southern California in extreme hot weather conditions, that really impacted the battery's effectiveness.
Okay.
Because the battery wants to get to a proper operating temperature, and if it's very cold, for example, it uses battery energy to help get itself warmed up.
Okay.
Which affects how far you can drive in the car. And people were losing, 20, sometimes 25% of the range because of that.
So like phase 1 or 2, you would
Yeah.
invest more into a battery management system.
Yes. So when we do phase 2, which will be on the road next year, in summer of 2011, it'll be a BMW bodied car, a current car, it'll be the 1 Series Coupe, using a completely different drivetrain, different battery pack technology, different electric motor technology. And one critical thing about the battery pack technology that we'll use in that car is that it will have water or liquid heating and cooling to allow us to affect that a bit better.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a pause.
Yes.
When you push the accelerator button.
It does have some good pickup. Oh, there's the regen.
There's the regen, yeah, you can definitely feel that, yeah.
Yeah, if I don't have my foot on the accelerator, completely
It goes to complete
up.
stop, yep.
Huh. Yeah, it handles just like regular Mini.
It handles very much like a regular Mini. I mean,
Do you think the acceleration feels like maybe it's has a little more pickup than the standard, just because there's so much torque in electric vehicles?
Well, there is a lot of torque at very low speeds compared to other vehicles, so you definitely feel that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
and people, and you get used to sort of the driving it essentially with one foot.
Yeah, yeah. You're not really going back and forth with the brake. You just use the acceleration.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the next generation, for phase 2, will it have the same type of regen, do you think?
Something similar to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we've learned that people adapt to it pretty quickly, so it's not such an issue. And it allows us to maximize the range potential, so from that point of view, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Did you guys ever consider making these just the Mini E in a more commercial production, or was it never the plan?
That was never the plan.
Yeah.
This was just meant to be a field study, but who knows what the future holds? I mean, the people really seem to warm to this car. And
I mean, the Mini brand is such a good one.
Yes, it is.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like the early adopters who like the Mini brand.
Well,
also
exactly,
like
and I think this drivetrain, electric drivetrain, seems to be really well suited to the Mini product.
So that was the Mini E. We just drove it around in Los Angeles, and even though it's a pretty tiny car, we still happened to get lost, and we drove about 4 times around the parking lot.
And she had a great time every time around.
I did.